Every rule you were taught was supposed to protect you. Be honest, be patient, be nice. And that is exactly why so many people spend their lives trapped by them. Nobody tells you a dangerous truth. Society does not create rules for the exceptional. It creates rules for the manageable. Rules that reduce conflict. Rules that create compliance. Rules that make people easier to predict. The result? Millions of people spend years following advice that sounds virtuous, while quietly giving away leverage, influence, and freedom. Because the world rarely punishes people for being evil. It punishes people for being naive. That was one of Machiavelli's most uncomfortable observations. He understood that public morality and real power often move in opposite directions. People praise one set of behaviors openly, while rewarding another set privately. The employee who tells the whole truth loses opportunities. The person who waits forever gets forgotten. The one desperate to be liked becomes easy to use. And the individual obsessed with fitting in slowly disappears into the crowd. Now understand something important. This is not about becoming dishonest. This is not about becoming ruthless for the sake of it. This is about defense. It is about recognizing which rules genuinely serve your interests, and which ones were designed for people who benefit from your obedience. Because once you can see the difference, everything changes. By the end of this video, you will understand 7 rules that society presents as wisdom, and why blindly following them can cost you more than failure ever will. And pay close attention to rule number 3. Most people build their entire identity around it, which is exactly why abandoning it feels so dangerous, and exactly why it sets so many lives on fire. Number 1. The honesty trap. Why truth makes you pray. They told you to always tell the truth. No exceptions, no filters, no strategy, just honesty. It sounds noble. It sounds moral. It sounds like the foundation of trust. Society praises people who reveal everything openly because transparent people are easy to understand, easy to predict, and easy to manage. That is the part nobody mentions. Machiavelli understood that information is power. Power is never distributed carelessly. A ruler who reveals every intention loses leverage before the game even begins. People imagine honesty and deception as opposites. But the real distinction is wisdom versus recklessness. Truth has value. Value should never be handed away without purpose. Most people confuse honesty with exposure. They reveal fears, plans, weaknesses, frustrations, ambitions, and private thoughts, simply because they believe openness automatically creates respect. Instead, they often create vulnerability. Imagine a workplace meeting. You reveal a future project idea before it is ready. You explain every detail because you want recognition. A colleague listens quietly. Weeks later, your concept returns wearing someone else's name. Suddenly, your honesty becomes their opportunity. You provided the information. They collected the reward. Nothing illegal happened. Nothing dramatic happened. You simply gave away leverage too early. The same pattern appears in relationships, friendships, negotiations, and business. People reveal their position before understanding who is listening. Then they wonder why they lose influence. The solution is not dishonesty. The solution is selective disclosure. Speak truthfully when truth serves the objective. Keep information private when privacy serves the objective. Not everyone deserves unrestricted access to your mind. Not every question deserves a complete answer. Not every curiosity deserves satisfaction. Strategic people understand timing. Timing determines value. A truth revealed too early weakens you. The same truth revealed at the right moment strengthens you. That difference changes outcomes completely. You do not lie. You do not perform. You simply stop treating information like a free resource. Because the moment you understand that every detail about you has value, conversations begin changing immediately. And once you stop giving everything away, you discover something uncomfortable. The people who benefited most from your openness were rarely the people protecting your interests. And the next rule is even more dangerous, because it convinces millions to wait, while opportunities quietly disappear. Number 2. Patience is the drug they feed the weak. You have heard the advice your entire life. Be patient. Wait your turn. Good things come to those who wait. The message sounds wise because patience has been packaged as a virtue. The problem is that most people were never taught the difference between strategic patience and passive delay. One creates results. The other creates regret. Machiavelli never admired waiting for its own sake. He admired preparation. He admired timing. He admired action launched at the moment of maximum advantage. There is a huge difference between sharpening a blade before a strike and spending years staring at the blade hoping life changes on its own. Most people never notice the difference. That is why they remain stuck. A man once told me his co-workers promised promotions were coming soon. He worked harder every year, stayed loyal, stayed patient, stayed hopeful. 5 years later, less capable people had passed him repeatedly, while he continued waiting for recognition that never arrived. Patience became sedation. That story repeats everywhere. Imagine someone wanting to start a business. They spend years preparing, more research, more planning, more waiting, more perfect timing. Eventually, another person launches with half the preparation and captures the opportunity first. The patient person feels unlucky. In reality, they were trapped. Society praises endless waiting because waiting creates predictable people. Predictable people rarely challenge systems. They rarely take risks. They rarely move before permission arrives. That is not patience. That is paralysis. The alternative is simple. Attach a deadline to every period of waiting. If you are gaining skills, define the moment you will act. If you are observing a situation, define the moment you will decide. If you are preparing for an opportunity, define the moment preparation ends. Patience without a strike date becomes avoidance. Once a deadline exists, patience transforms into strategy. Now every day has purpose. Now every delay has meaning. Now waiting serves action instead of replacing it. That shift changes everything. Because powerful people do not wait indefinitely. They wait while positioning themselves. They wait while gathering resources. They wait while creating advantages. Then they move. The crowd mistakes movement for luck because they only notice the action, not the preparation behind it. The next rule is even more deceptive because it disguises itself as the ultimate goal of life itself. And that illusion controls more people than almost any other belief. Number 3. Why chasing happiness keeps you obedient. This may be the most dangerous rule of all. Follow your happiness. Do what makes you happy. Make happiness your priority. The advice sounds harmless because nobody questions happiness itself. Everyone wants it. Everyone seeks it. Everyone assumes it should be the destination. That assumption creates the trap. Machiavelli understood something most people never consider. People who are constantly chasing emotional comfort become easy to guide. They avoid conflict. They avoid discomfort. They avoid difficult decisions. Their choices revolve around immediate feelings rather than long-term power. That creates dependence. Because happiness is unstable. One good day creates it. One bad day removes it. Imagine someone staying in a comfortable job they secretly dislike. The paycheck arrives. The routine feels familiar. The risks feel small. Every instinct tells them to stay because discomfort feels dangerous. Years pass. The salary grows slightly. The freedom never grows. The person mistakes comfort for success because comfort produces temporary happiness. Meanwhile, opportunities requiring courage continue passing by unnoticed. That is how obedience often works. Not through force, through comfort. The happiest short-term choice is not always the strongest long-term choice. Sometimes growth requires uncertainty. Sometimes freedom requires sacrifice. Sometimes power requires enduring discomfort that weaker people avoid. This does not mean happiness is worthless. It means happiness is a byproduct, never the mission. The mission should be freedom, capability, control over your own direction. When those things increase, satisfaction often follows naturally. But when happiness becomes the target itself, people start making decisions based on emotional convenience rather than strategic outcomes. That creates fragile lives. The better approach is simple. Ask a different question. Instead of asking, "Will this make me happy today?" ask, "Will this make me stronger a year from now?" That single change alters decision-making completely. Suddenly comfort loses authority. Long-term advantage gains authority. Growth becomes more important than temporary emotional relief. If this is already changing how you see the people around you, drop one word in the comments and subscribe. Because the next 4 rules get more ruthless. Because the next lesson exposes a behavior praised as kindness, but often used as a leash. And once you see it clearly, you will understand why some of the nicest people are also the easiest people to control. Number 4. Being nice is the leash they put on you. They taught you that being nice is always the right choice. Smile more. Avoid conflict. Keep everyone comfortable. Do not upset people. The message sounds harmless because kindness and weakness often get mixed together. Society rewards agreeable behavior publicly because agreeable people create less friction. The problem begins when the desire to be liked becomes stronger than the desire to be respected. That is where the leash appears. Machiavelli understood that respect and affection are not the same currency. Affection feels pleasant, but respect creates boundaries. The person obsessed with approval gradually loses the ability to say no. They begin sacrificing opinions, standards, time, and opportunities simply to maintain positive reactions from others. That exchange becomes expensive. Imagine a friend group where one person constantly accommodates everyone. They change plans, absorb inconvenience, lend help, stay available, and avoid confrontation. At first, everyone praises them. Over time, something changes. The favors become expected. The availability becomes assumed. The appreciation disappears. Now their niceness is no longer valued. It is exploited. The tragedy is that they believe working harder will solve the problem. More accommodation, more understanding, more sacrifice. Instead, the disrespect grows. Why? Because people naturally value what has limits. Unlimited access lowers perceived worth. Endless accommodation removes consequences. When somebody never protects their boundaries, others stop noticing those boundaries exist. The solution is not becoming cruel. The solution is becoming selective. Help when it aligns with your values. Refuse when it violates your values. Disagree when disagreement is necessary. Protect your time as aggressively as you protect your money. That shift changes social dynamics immediately, because people begin encountering standards instead of endless availability. Standards create clarity. Clarity creates respect. Some people will dislike this transformation. Good. The individuals most offended by your boundaries are often the individuals benefiting from their absence. Being respected may cost approval. Being approved by everyone often costs respect. Choose carefully, because the next rule sounds virtuous, sounds mature, and sounds wise. Yet it quietly convinces capable people to shrink themselves until they become invisible. And once that process begins, ambition becomes something people apologize for instead of developing. Number 5. Humility. The armor they turned into a chain. Stay humble. Do not talk about your achievements. Do not stand out. Do not make people uncomfortable with your success. Most people hear this advice so often that they never question it. Humility becomes treated as a permanent identity rather than a strategic choice. What began as wisdom slowly transforms into self-suppression. That transformation benefits everyone except you. Machiavelli recognized that perception influences reality. If nobody knows your value, many people will assume value does not exist. This does not mean constant self-promotion. It means understanding that invisibility carries consequences. A man once told me he spent years quietly delivering exceptional results while louder, less capable co-workers received recognition, promotions, and influence. He believed merit alone would eventually speak for itself. It never did. Someone else spoke first. That story repeats constantly. Imagine building expertise for years. You develop skills, solve problems, create results, and generate value. Yet whenever success appears, you minimize it. Whenever recognition arrives, you redirect it. Whenever opportunity appears, you step backward so others feel comfortable. At first, this feels noble. Eventually, it becomes costly. The world cannot reward contributions it cannot see. Many talented people spend decades hiding behind excessive modesty, while less capable individuals advance simply because they understand visibility. This is where humility gets misunderstood. True humility is strength under control. False humility is strength under restriction. One is chosen, the other is imposed. The alternative is simple. Acknowledge your achievements without arrogance. Recognize your capabilities without apology. Allow results to be visible without feeling guilty for them. You do not need to exaggerate. You do not need to boast. You simply stop pretending you are smaller than reality. That distinction matters because confidence creates opportunities that excessive modesty often destroys. People trust visible competence. They follow visible competence. They invest in visible competence. Humility remains valuable when it protects you from arrogance. It becomes dangerous when it prevents rightful recognition. Never confuse those two things, because the next lesson is responsible for more betrayal, disappointment, and manipulation than most people experience in a lifetime. And almost everyone keeps giving it away without demanding anything in return. Number 6. Loyalty is a loan. Stop giving it away free. Society praises loyalty as if it is the highest virtue. Stay loyal. Stand by people no matter what. Never abandon your side. The message sounds honorable because loyalty feels noble in theory. The problem is that most people were never taught a critical distinction. Loyalty must be earned, not assumed. Machiavelli understood that alliances survive through mutual benefit, not blind devotion. Relationships built entirely on one-sided sacrifice eventually collapse, because one person invests while the other person collects. That imbalance creates exploitation. A person gives support, protection, time, opportunities, and trust. Years pass. They believe loyalty is being built. Then the first serious conflict arrives, and the relationship disappears overnight. Suddenly, reality becomes visible. The investment was real. The reciprocity was not. Imagine helping a friend repeatedly. You show up during difficult moments. You defend them publicly. You create opportunities for them. You remain available when others leave. Then one day you need support. Silence, excuses, distance. The loyalty existed in one direction only. Many people experience this and still learn the wrong lesson. They conclude they should become even more loyal, more forgiving, more available. That response guarantees repetition. The correct lesson is evaluation. Who reciprocates? Who invests? Who appears only when benefits exist? Who remains when benefits disappear? These questions reveal more than promises ever will. Loyalty should function like a loan. Before extending it, evaluate whether repayment is possible. Not necessarily through money, through actions, through consistency, through demonstrated commitment. Words are cheap. History is expensive. Trust behavior, not declarations. The strongest relationships are not built on unconditional loyalty. They are built on mutual loyalty. Both sides contribute. Both sides protect. Both sides invest. That creates durability. Anything else creates dependency. You do not owe unlimited devotion to people who contribute nothing in return. You do not owe permanent allegiance to individuals who repeatedly violate trust. You do not owe sacrifice simply because history exists. Respect history. Do not become imprisoned by it. Because the final rule is the most dangerous one of all. It teaches people to seek safety inside the crowd. And in doing so, it quietly destroys the one thing powerful people protect above everything else: their independence. Number 7. The crowd fears the man who walks alone. From childhood, you were taught a simple rule: fit in, be normal, do not stand out too much, stay close to the group. The message sounds reasonable because belonging feels safe. Human beings naturally seek acceptance. Nobody wants rejection. Nobody wants isolation. Nobody wants to become the outsider. That instinct is exactly what makes the rule so powerful. Machiavelli understood that crowds reward conformity, because conformity creates predictability. Predictable people are easy to understand, easy to influence, easy to categorize. The individual who thinks independently creates uncertainty, and uncertainty makes people uncomfortable. That discomfort often gets mistaken for hostility. Imagine a person who begins questioning assumptions everyone else accepts automatically. They reject popular opinions. They refuse social pressure. They choose a different path instead of following the expected one. Watch what happens. People rarely attack the argument first. They attack the person. Suddenly, the independent thinker becomes arrogant, difficult, strange, selfish. Not because those labels are true, but because the crowd needs an explanation for behavior it cannot predict. This happens in careers, relationships, friendships, business, everywhere. The moment somebody stops seeking approval from the group starts losing influence over that person. That loss of influence creates resistance. Most people retreat at this stage. The discomfort becomes too strong. They return to familiar opinions, familiar behaviors, familiar expectations. The crowd welcomes them back immediately. Safety returns. Freedom disappears. That is the trade most people make without realizing it. The alternative requires courage. Learn to tolerate temporary disapproval. Learn to think before agreeing. Learn to stand alone when your judgment points in a different direction. This does not mean becoming isolated from everyone. It means refusing to outsource your thinking. A strategist values advice. A strategist values information. A strategist values perspective. But final decisions remain their own. That distinction changes everything. The crowd can offer comfort. It cannot offer independence. The crowd can offer acceptance. It cannot offer self-direction. The moment you understand this, many social pressures lose their power completely. You stop measuring choices by popularity. You stop measuring truth by consensus. You stop measuring yourself by other people's expectations. And that is where real freedom begins. Because the person who requires approval to move will always wait for permission. The person who can walk alone never has to. That is why the crowd fears him. Not because he is stronger, because he is no longer controllable. The 7 rules you heard today have one thing in common. None of them were designed to make you powerful. They were designed to make you predictable. Predictable people tell everyone everything. Predictable people wait forever. Predictable people chase comfort, seek approval, hide their strengths, give loyalty without evaluation, and fear standing apart from the crowd. That is why so many people spend their lives following rules that sound wise while losing control over their own direction. Machiavelli understood something uncomfortable. The world rewards those who understand human nature, not those who blindly obey it. Remember this: the most dangerous prison is not made of walls. It is made of beliefs you never questioned. If this video changed the way you see the world, leave a like and comment. which of these 7 rules still affects you the most. Subscribe if you are ready to think differently from the crowd and develop the strategic awareness most people never acquire. And share this video with someone who still mistakes obedience for wisdom.